Hola, welcome to Slowpoke Travel. This video is all about currency.
Money, money, money!
We're currently in Chile, so this is Chilean currency. Although I think maybe this information might work for a lot of Spanish-speaking countries, because a lot that you have to know about handling the currency in a Spanish-speaking country is the numbers. Learn your numbers. Learn your numbers.
Thank you, Daddy.
Just having a basic grasp of the numbers. Cannot stress that enough. Learn the numbers, practice them before you get here, ideally. Although you'll be forced to learn them pretty quick, whether you like it or not.
Well, I can write things down for you.
Yeah, definitely. Have a cheat sheet. I've got a little cheat sheet on my phone that I used for a while.
No, but some restaurants and things, they would write down the numbers or they'd give us a receipt so you could look at the numbers.
I guess, if you go to those kind of fancy restaurants.
Cheat.
But let's look at the Chilean currency, and it's pesos, but they're big numbers. I'm from the United States. I'm used to tiny numbers, little itsy bitsy, teeny tiny numbers that my brain can get around. And plus, I'm financially challenged, so we deal with small currency all the time anyway. So this is what you'll see when you come to Chile, currency-wise. And these here are quite a few bills, but you see I've got them all stacked up together. And they're the same width, but they're different lengths. So like the larger bills are longer and the smaller bills are shorter.
Very clever.
Yep. So if you're sight impaired or you're inebriated, then this is for you, buddy. This is the smallest one right here, is the 1,000 peso note.
You're covering up the most fun part of it. There's
Yeah,
some
it's got a little
yeah.
kind of a cellophane clear thing right here. Currency rates are going to change, and depending on the currency of your country versus wherever you go. But here in Chile right now, this 1,000 peso note is about $1.50 in U.S. currency. So that's how I think of it as. I think of it almost like a dollar, because it spends almost like a dollar for what you can get for it. Like for this 1,000 peso note, if you go to a kind of a nice coffee shop, this is like half a cup of coffee, maybe a little bit less. But I don't know who that is on the front. I think it's Edgar Allan Poe. Because Chile is a very well-read country. There's a lot of bookshops, so they appreciate literature. Or maybe they like spooky stories.
Oh, my God.
Maybe
they're
that's
also
it.
durable. You want to say anything about how durable
Yeah,
the
it's kind of
bills
a
are?
plasticky feel.
Yeah.
But I don't know, these bigger ones are almost papery. And I don't know if that's because they're older or
Yes.
just because...
They're older because they also don't have the transparent part to them.
But here we've got, let's go to the next one, which is 2,000 pesos. And so this is twice as much as the 1,000 pesos. See, learning your numbers already pays off early on. And I think this is Peter Cushing, a young Peter Cushing from the early Hammer horror movie days. I think maybe when he was doing the Frankenstein movies. And I guess those movies were a big hit down here since they put him on the money.
Oh, no.
This right here, 5,000 pesos. Not sure who that is. I think it's a minor Star Wars character. I don't watch a lot. I'm not big into the Star Wars universe. But this is my favorite bill. I mean, if you're down here spending cash, these are the best ones to have, because these are small notes. So if you go somewhere, if you're buying stuff off the street, on the market or from a vendor, or you're just going in for a small purchase and you don't want to use your credit card, this is what you want, are these small bills. Once you get into these bigger bills, you might as well use a credit card. But I really like the 5, because the 5 leads to these as change. This is a piece of cake and a cup of coffee for me. But these here are what I brought. Before we left the United States, I ordered some currency from my bank, and I couldn't choose the denominations. They just gave me the choice of small bills or large bills, and I chose small bills, and they gave me an assortment of these, and this was perfect. And this is what I like to have in my wallet down here. Otherwise, I'm using my credit card. We have a Charles Schwab account, so we're able to get money out of ATMs without having exorbitant fees. So that's nice to have. And then we've also got some credit cards with, where they don't have international transaction charges.
No foreign transaction.
No foreign transaction charges. And that sort of helps too, because all that stuff adds up. But if you're using cash, you want these small bills, and you don't need a lot of it. I think we came here with several $100s in this here, and it was more than we needed, because it was easy to get the cash out of the ATMs, and it was easy to turn it into this stuff right here. And when we got the money out of the ATMs, it was mostly these right here, which is the 10,000 and the 20,000. One time,
We're rich.
well, we kind of are. You know, I don't know. Is there a bigger bill than the 20,000 note? Probably, but you're going to have to watch the Bill Gates Travel Channel to get a look at that one, because this is the biggest one that we've seen. And I think we got a withdrawal out of ATM, and they gave us a bunch of these. And you know, I don't want to fool with these, because if I'm making this kind of a purchase, I want to use my credit card, because this is like $35 right now in US. And this one's okay, you know, because this is 2 cups of coffee and 2 pieces of cake for most places that we go. And I don't know who this is. I think that's I don't know. This might be a corporate tie-in. This might be a spokesman for like mustache wax or some sort of beard care. And of course, we all recognize Robert Vaughn. The man from Uncle.
You're dating yourself again.
Oh, yeah. This video is going to be great if you're old. Otherwise, you're like, who are these people? Who are these people he's talking about? Edgar Allan Poe? Most of our audience is in the United States, and people in the United States, they're playing in Mario Brothers. They're not reading books. Looks like Monopoly money. But you know, I mean, all Monopoly money looks like all money, because Monopoly money is based on money, right?
Oh, good Lord,
That's
how
right.
profound is that?
Here, let me do the change real quick. Here is the Chilean peso hard currency. This here, it looks like a dime. It's a 10 peso piece, but this is more like a penny. And you get these, and it's like, it's not worth the wear and tear on your britches. And this is even worse, 50 pesos, because this is big. This is like the size of a U.S. quarter, but it's like a nickel. It's like a nickel, but it's as big as a quarter.
You're so outraged.
How much sense does that make? But I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what you can buy with this. You can't, I don't even think you can buy a stick of gum with this. This is like a down payment on a piece of gum, so forget about that. And then we've got some 100 peso pieces. There's an old one, and there's a new one, and the 100 peso pieces are okay. You know, you can put a few of these together and maybe put a down payment on an apple. Now you've also got a 500 peso piece. And this is good, because 500 pesos, this is like 75 cents. So this makes more sense. But not that dissimilar from the 100 peso piece. So you kind of have to be careful with it. It's a little bit larger, but if you're unfamiliar with the currency, it's good to know that distinction. Here are a few transactions where I had cash purchases. Like this is a coffee shop, basically 2 pieces of cake and no. This was it's hard. It's in Spanish. But no, this is 2 cups of coffee, and then we had some arepas. But this came to 14,900 pesos. So that would be 14,900.
And they say it fast, so you're gonna have
Yeah,
to
they
ask
say
them to
it.
repeat it.
Oh my God! Like I say that, I say 14,900. They say brrr. Just that itsy bitsy teeny tiny bit of knowledge, you know. So when they come and say, "Oh, the bill is," brrr, you know, you can sort of think about it.
But also that if they give you the piece of paper, you can look at the
Yeah,
number.
you can look at it, but that doesn't always happen. Now this here is a receipt.
One of our favorite
One of our favorite places, the
places.
cakery, and they just give you this here stick-it note. But this was for 7,920, which is 7,920. You know, I get a grip on the first couple of numbers. Like they'll say 8,000, which is 8,000 pesos. So right off the bat, I know if I give them a 10, I got it covered, and I kind of have some idea of the change I'm looking for. So you want to have some grip or some grasp of those numbers, because like if you're spending this here, and they say 2,320, which is 2,320, whatever I said. But then I know that I'm going to be looking for 7,000 pesos in change. So I don't have to think about that change, the small change so much. I just have to have some idea of what bill I need to use for the transaction. You know, it's like if they say anything under 5, like if they say 4,000, then I know that my 5 will cover it. I mean, this is very basic, but it is something that is necessary, And you need to know that boom right when you hit the ground, because you're going to be getting on a bus, you're going to be getting in a taxi, you're going to be buying a bottle of water. You're right off the bat going to be doing some financial transactions. So, having some understanding of the money and the language that you have to use with the money is super duper important. Importante. So go to our website, slowpoketravel.com. There'll be a link down below, and it'll be all you need to know to figure out Chilean money hitting the ground. Thanks for watching and subscribing and watching all our other stuff too. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.
Wait, I want to know why you have a bunny tail on your chest.
It makes the sound better, and I feel prettier when I wear this.